This is a tiny bag. I love it. It's awesome. I might like the color, just maybe, just a little bit. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Megan if you're new here, and I really like micro bags. So I don't know about you, but every time I've gone into Chanel recently, I've had to make snap decisions, okay? It's either I want it or I don't, and if I don't, I'm probably never gonna see it again. So when the opportunity to buy this came along, it was done. I knew I wanted it. Not only because it's that beautiful 21K lilac, but also I already knew that micro bags worked for me. So I wanted to make a 3-week ramble, about this bag. I wanted to talk about some of the things that have worked out really well for me, some of the things that I would be mindful of. I don't think I need to tell you that a phone will not fit in this. Clearly, it's not going to happen. And if that's an absolute must for you, buying this won't make it not a must for you. It will then just sit on your shelf and you will be uncomfortable. That is something that I would absolutely keep in mind. So in this video, before I start rambling on about it, in this video I'm gonna have mod shots so you can see where it falls on my frame. I'm also gonna have a proper what fits inside where I turn the camera around and everything. That'll be at the very end, so you can see some of the stuff more clearly that I would put into it, but I'll just try to cover what's worked out for me and what I do to take care of it. Alrighty, so as I mentioned, a phone, there's no way it will fit in here. That's obvious. However, I already have that habit of putting my phone into my back pocket. Even when I have a big bag, I will often just put it into my back pocket or have it in my hand. It's never bothered me. I think the only time that it would maybe be annoying is if it's summertime and I'm wearing a dress without any pockets, then I would just have to hold it. I probably wouldn't use this bag then, but especially because it's fall and I'm wearing jeans anyway, or I'm wearing a coat, it's never mattered. I already had that habit, and I had a number of micro bags that were really inexpensive. Like really cheap little ones or things that had been given to me, nothing remotely luxury. So I knew this size worked for me. I also loved the color. It was a done deal. However, it won't work for everybody. I have seen a lot of people, probably joking, on Instagram saying that with the price increases, they're only going to be able to afford micro bags. I would warn against just getting them because it's the thing that's slightly more at an accessible price point. It is kind of scary to think about the prices of Chanel classic flaps over the last few years and how not that long ago it was this price. So in June of this year, I know this because I took a screenshot of the website on June 22nd. So the price on that day was I have it written right here, $1,825. Now, this is $2,450. I think it probably went up in July, if I'm not mistaken. It really wasn't that long ago that a classic flap was that price. Kind of freaky to think about. But I'm not here to talk about price increases. The reason I mention it is because if you have your heart set on a classic flap, this is only a $2,000 distraction and it will just make you further away from your goal. I definitely would not get these things unless you know you love micro bags. I probably don't need to say it, but I've been there and I know how tempting it can be to find something that's it's kind of what you want. It is still a Chanel bag. It's a beautiful Chanel bag, but if you have your heart set on a classic flap, just keep saving up for that and don't let the SLGs distract you. That would be my advice. Now, I really loved this. I think it works really well as a bag. Mostly I like the drop length on this. I love how it sits crossbody or on the shoulder. I'm not usually, in my experience, it's hard for a bag to work crossbody and on the shoulder. It's always one or the other that it seems to sit better. However, this works great either way. I wish with the Lady Dior micro bag that it worked crossbody. They made that strap ridiculous ridiculously short. When I first saw pictures of it, I was thinking, yes, this will finally be the Lady Dior I can buy. And then I tried it on in store, and the strap length, maybe I'm just not skinny enough. I don't know what it is, but that bag barely got below my chest. I mean, it sat, it was ridiculous. This actually looks like a bag because of where it sits on my hip. And if you're taller than me, if you're a different shape than me, and so it only works on the shoulder, I think it's still super cute on the shoulder, and it looks like it belongs there. So that's something. Oh, I wish that Lady Dior worked. Why didn't they make that strap longer? Because that would have probably been the Lady Dior that I bought. As crazy as that is. So I'm just gonna get some of the negatives out of the way. Now clearly there's a light colored bag, so I am wary of denim transfer. It's also a lambskin bag. The only glazing on it is on the handle. There's no glazing along the body of the bag, so I am wary of corner wear. Not having it rub against denim anyway, to avoid the color transfer, that will help. I haven't had any trouble styling this so that it's not in contact with denim. I'm wearing longer cardigans or coats anyway. I had this against a red woolen cashmere blend coat, and there was absolutely no color transfer. I also think that because of the size, it makes it easier to take care of. However, the one bit of wear that I think will be inevitable, it is going to crease along this backside. If that's all that happens to it in the next few years, I will be thrilled. But this is going to wrinkle because it has to bend somewhere to get into the bag. That's obvious. You'll just have to be okay with that. If you get this bag, it might be a little bit less noticeable on the black version. I'm tempted by the black one. Ooh, it is cute. And then I could wear it against jeans, even though, again, I would still be careful about it rubbing against such an abrasive fabric. But really, I'm not too concerned about much wear on this. I love that it has a magnet instead of a snap closure. It also says Chanel in teeny little letters along there, so I think that's cute. But not having a snap that you have to really push down on means I'm not putting additional pressure on the bag. I am careful about how I store it. I lay it flat on its back, and I make sure that there are no chains tucked underneath it, because that will leave an impression in the lambskin. Another thing about the size that helps with keeping this safe and in pristine condition. So the other night, my husband and I, we went out to dinner. And I didn't check the weather. I normally do, but it hadn't rained all day, and I wasn't thinking about it. We were leaving, and it was sunny blue skies. Halfway through our meal, it started pouring down, and fortunately, I had a coat, and it fits really nicely under my coat. It actually looks kind of cute that way, like if you have your coat open and you can see your bag peeking out. However, just for the 5-10 minute walk to the car, it meant that this light colored lambskin didn't get wet at all because I was able to wear it under my coat walking back. So that was a nice little plus. Another thing about the size and being able to wear it under your coat, I don't like to dwell on this side of things too much. I don't really like to talk about it because it obviously makes me uncomfortable, is security around wearing really nice bags in cities recently. There have been some issues in Philly. These issues have always been there, but there are more increased cases of theft and women being mugged for their bags in the city. I do like that I can wear this under my coat when walking to my car. Chanel, it has a well-known label. It's a shame that something iconic, being iconic, is somewhat of a negative now. Drawing attention to myself in that way, I don't like. But I like that I can wear this under my coat for not only keeping the bag pretty, but also just that added level of security. Even just if you're worried about people brushing past you. I've mentioned this with my Bulgari Serpentine Forever bag, how it's a really smooth calfskin. So when you're walking in the city and people are jostling by you, if you're worried about something scraping against the bag, or if you have a really delicate lambskin, I then would wear it under my coat just so that no one can brush past me, and then you have that added security bonus. Now really, if the size isn't an issue for you, if fitting things into it isn't a problem, I can't really think of any cons for this bag. It really does fit more than you expect, which you'll see later. Maybe, I don't know, it fit more than I expected. One thing I would be careful of, I am obsessed with making sure I have all of my cards in the place that I expect them to be. I normally have them in a card holder, and I will obsessively put them into the exact same slots every single time. So on one half the card holder, same cards, they're always there, oriented in the same way. And I will do that quick glance, like when I'm checking out at a grocery store, when I get back to my car, I will double check my cards again. Now, with just an open compartment, it's not a quick glance, and sometimes that makes me anxious. That's just me being maybe a little bit weird, but I will double check that I have everything in here. I have seen people hurriedly pull out cards or cash from a pouch, and more will come out with the card than they realize, and they'll end up dropping cards or cash, whatever it is, on the ground. Unfortunately, there's like a good Samaritan there to be like, hey, you dropped this. There's not always someone there to do that, and that's something that I'm wary of when I'm pulling things out of just an open compartment or a pocket. That's why I never ever just put cards or cash into a jeans pocket. But when I am flipping through this, I only have maybe 4 cards to keep track of anyway, so I will quickly count them or look through them. I mean, they're all different colors, so that kind of helps. But it's something I figured I would mention in case you're obsessed over things like that, like I am. Alrighty, so I think that is everything I wanted to say about this little beauty. Please let me know if you have any questions. I am going to end this with showing specifically what fits close up, so please let me know if you have any additional questions. I love the look of micro bags. I think they're really fun and chill. It presents the look that I want to have, which just is someone who's having fun with fashion. It's really carefree and playful. I like that look. I don't like to look so stuffy anymore, I guess you could say. I just want to be comfortable, you know, and not be bogged down with a bunch of stuff in a very serious bag that has the kitchen sink in it. That's just not the look I want all the time. I'm still going to use my larger bags later on just for, you know, the utility. But as of right now, considering how lucky I feel to get to go out when I can and see my friends, see my family, go out to a nice restaurant, that feels like a really big deal after being inside for a year and a half. So there's just something kind of celebratory for me about a micro bag. So I hope this was helpful. Please let me know if you have any other questions, or I'll talk to you next time. Bye. Hey there, future Megan, here to show you a little bit more about this bag. It's kind of strange filming things from these angles. Like, okay, now it's centered, there you go. So this is the little bag up close. It does have these 2 top rings. There is Chanel written on that magnet and made in Italy. I have a couple cards in there just standing in for my bank cards, stuff like that. A lipstick fits in. I can tell you that a key clay will not fit in. It's simply too long. Width-wise, it's great, but it's just a little bit too long where it would be busting out the sides. I don't have anything like a 4-ring key holder, so if you have one and you know how it is compared to the key clay, I guess you can use that as a reference. If it's a similar length, then it's not going to fit in. Something like a Dior lip gloss, this will fit in, and it's pretty much end to end. And then on top of that, I would just have my car key. I drive a 21-year-old Honda Civic, in case you're wondering. So it's kind of a bulky key. I don't really know how it is compared to the new fancy key fobs, but all of that fits in without it busting out. Something I love to have are these little micro lipsticks. They're so easy to find. They sell them everywhere, and they often just give them away for free. You can get like the Sephora points and things like that. So that's how I've accumulated them. I really like them, and truthfully, I've never finished a full-size lipstick. So something like this works out well in a micro bag. Okay. Pile that all in there. Okay, see, it's this ring that's causing me trouble, but it actually does fit in. There you go. And it's not busting out at the sides at all.